Inclement weather affects civilian life of several areas. The Ministry of Defense investigates reports on an LTTE attack. A reduction of Russian attacks noted at Donbas in Ukraine.
We move on to those and other stories in detail. And on behalf of the ChannelEye Rupavahini Corporation, we wish all a peaceful and blessed Vesak. And many religious ceremonies in connection with the Vesak full moon piety have taken place across the world.
Hundreds of thousands of Buddhist devotees worldwide are participating in various religious ceremonies in connection with the Vesak full moon piety today. This day is very important for Buddhists worldwide, including Sri Lankans, as the Buddhist birth, enlightenment and passing away took place in a day like today. According to Buddhist literature, a birth of a Lord Buddha was a very rare and noble phenomenon. Prince Siddhartha was born on a Vesak full moon piety at Lumbini Sal Uena in Kimulwat city. He attained enlightenment on a day like today, understanding 4 noble truths. In addition to the 3 festivals combined on the birth, enlightenment and passing away of the Gautama Buddha, there are other incidents associated with the Vesak festival. They are the present Buddha to be in one of the former births received blessings of the Deepankara Buddha many births before. Traveling of Gautama the Buddha to his father's kingdom Kimulvatpura, performing the miracle known as Yamamaha to demolish the vanity of the Shakyas who were ruling the kingdom. Undertaking of the 3rd visit to Sri Lanka and leaving the impression of the Gautama the Buddha on the top of Samanala mountain are some of the other events associated with the Vesak festival. Lord Buddha, who preached his Dhamma for 45 years, passed away at Tupavatana Sal Uena belonging to Malla Kings on a Vesak full moon piety like today. Sri Lankans are celebrating Vesak festival since ancient kingdoms up to now. Devotees arrived in temples island-wide from morning to take part in religious observances in connection with the Vesak full moon piety. Devotees were seen arriving at Sri Dalanda Maligava in Kandy. A large number of devotees were present to observe Sil and to pay homage near Anuradhapura Jayasri Mahabodhi and Ruanveli Mahasaya. Devotees attended to religious observances at Kataragama Kirivihara sacred premises. Rupavahini Corporation organized several religious programs in connection with the Vesak full moon piety. The main Dhamma sermon was delivered by Medmembiye Panyasara Thera. A group of people, including Chairman of the Corporation Sonala Gunawardena, attended the programs. A large number of devotees were seen at the historic Polonnaruwa Galvihara temple premises. Chief Prelate of Sri Padasthane, Venerable Bengamuye Dhammadina Thera, says that the Sri Pada pilgrimage season will end on the 17th. Devotees can make the pilgrimage today and tomorrow.
The Mahanayaka Theras of Asgiri and Malvata chapters say that religious activities should be conducted according to Buddhist values on Vesak full moon piety. They have pointed out it is opportune to engage in Pratipatti Puja amidst the economic crisis faced by the country. Mahanayaka of Asgiri chapter, Most Venerable Varakhagoda Sri Jnanaratna Thera, said that there is a peaceful environment to celebrate Vesak festival this year. He has requested to hold the festival with patience among compassion and kindness. He has said that Buddhists do not cause hardships to others and they enjoy by helping out the others when they are sad. He has said it is important to engage in religious activities protecting Buddhist values on the Vesak full moon piety. Anunayaka of Malvata chapter, Most Venerable Dimbul Kumbure Sri Vimaladhamma Thera, says that everyone should be determined on the Vesak full moon piety to make the life fortunate through compassion, kindness and meritorious deeds by letting go of hatred and violence. He has pointed out everyone should engage in Pratipatti Puja since the country is facing an economic crisis.
And meanwhile, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that the Buddhists in Sri Lanka, together with fellow Buddhist brethren in the world over, perform charitable activities including Amidsa Puja and Pratipatti Puja, celebrate the Vesak, the most important day in Buddhist calendar. The President in his Vesak message says the Dhamma preached by Gautama Buddha with great compassion for all human beings continued for over 2,500 years. The Bodhisattva practiced towards enlightenment over a period of countless kalpas. Those who sought refuge in Buddha recall the unbound qualities of the great teacher with utmost devotion. Evidences about the virtue of Buddhist teachings that had not been shaken by the Atalo Dhamma depict in Buddhist literature and throughout the character of the Buddha. Therefore, resilience is essential in difficult situations. At a difficult juncture, when the country is in dire straits, all the people representatives must work together immediately for a solution on behalf of all citizens. The true goal should be to reach the desired target without deviating from the primary goal. The President has urged to use the concept of lichavi for this purpose and to work together to alleviate the crisis.
The true goal should be to reach the desired target without deviating from the primary goal. The President has urged to use the concept of lichavi for this purpose and to work together to alleviate the crisis. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe in his Vesak message has said that the country should line up with new hopes to celebrate the thrice blessed Vesak festival. The Prime Minister has said that he believes that the Dhamma path of the Buddha should be practically used to save the country from its present complex situation. The commitment to restore life of the people in the country is a commitment towards the Buddha. Stability and patience should be achieved by the entire Sri Lankan society. The Prime Minister has pointed out that the 7 virtues Dhamma aspects of the Buddha are the philosophical and practical state political path. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa in his Vesak Day message has pointed out that it is important to gather merits without delay according to the words of the Buddha, which says that the person who abide by the Dhamma will be protected by the Dhamma. He has pointed out that the Dhamma preached by the Buddha, by realizing the truth in the universe, will prevail at all times. The opposition leader has said that the Dhamma preached by the Buddha can be used practically for present-day lives.
A Dhamma sermon organized by the United Buddhist Association took place today at the Prime Minister's office in connection with the Vesak Full Moon Poya Day. The sermon was delivered by the Deputy Registrar of Sri Kalyani Samagri Dhamma Mahasangha Sabha and Chief Prelate of Ratmalana Paramadhamma Chaitya Pirivana Venerable Maithipe Viplasara Thera. Buddhists have been able to celebrate Vesak festival after 3 years.
And the Vesak festival was limited to homes during the past 5 years. Due to the COVID pandemic, Vesak pandals, lanterns and dancels can be seen in many areas of the country. The pandal erected by Dematagoda United Traders Vaishakya Society will be displayed from today to the 22nd. It has been organized for the 45th time this year. The pandal depicts Asaka Jataka story consisted of more than 30,000 bulbs. Grandpa Sri Vaisakya Sambudaloka Society has erected the Vesak pandal for the 52nd time. It is based on Kuhaka Jataka story. It can be viewed until the 21st. Malabe Vesak pandal erected by Malabe United Traders Association is based on Kulupagatissa Jataka story. Totalanga pandal has been presented for the 68th time by the Totalanga Sri Vaishakya Loka Society. The Vesak pandal presented by the Maharagama Traders Association for the 17th time, Thandalunalaka's Jataka story. It has been erected in front of the National Youth Services Council. Dancels have been organized in many areas of the country in connection with the Vesak festival. Nimsahana Guild organized a dancel at Athurugiri Junction today. Janasarana Welfare Society at Dumbala Surya Sabapati Hirna organized a dancel for the 19th time. Youth and people in the area organized a dancel at Peradeniya Kiribat Kumura. Another dancel has been organized at Vevala area by a preschool in Horana. Vavuniya Madhukanta National School children organized a dancel in front of the Vavuniya Sri Dalada temple. A large number of Sinhala, Tamil and Muslim people took part in the dancel. Sacred relics exposition is taken place at Middaniya Hailala historic temple. A large number of devotees were arriving to pay homage to the sacred relics.
The World Bank and Asian Development Bank have agreed to support Sri Lanka to get medicine, essential food items and fertilizer. They have agreed to do so during a discussion between Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and representatives of the World Bank and Asian Development Bank. The Prime Minister briefed the representatives of the World Bank and Asian Development Bank about the present economic crisis. The Prime Minister has discussed the necessity to hold an international conference. The Prime Minister has informed the representatives that Sri Lanka is looking for alternatives to find funds to meet the dollar shortage. He has said discussions will be held tomorrow about the 21st Amendment to the Constitution. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the countries with whom the discussions were held earlier are taking steps to assist the country. The problem at present is to get fuel for the energy sector next week. Since there's a dollar shortage in banks, measures are being taken to get funds from other methods. All reviews related to the country's economic situation have been completed. The Prime Minister said that he expects to report about it tomorrow.
බලශක්ති ශේෂ්ත්‍රයට එන සතිය ඉන්ධන ලබා ගන්න. බැංකුවල ඩොලර් හිඟයක් තිබෙන නිසා
The staff of the Prime Minister's office performed their duties today. They're scheduled to engage in duties tomorrow as well. After assuming office, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that officials of his office and public servants should perform their duties on Vesak Poya Day, also due to the prevailing situation in the country.
Meanwhile, the intelligence services sources have warned that the LTT is preparing to launch attacks in Sri Lanka. The Hindu newspaper has published a news report in this regard. Quoting Indian intelligence reports, the Hindu news report states that LTTE groups are preparing to launch attacks amid Sri Lanka's economic and political crisis. The Hindu newspaper has reported that the foreign Tamil diaspora has taken steps to conduct the activities in parallel to the conflict situation with the protesters by Sri Lanka's security forces and police. It has been reported that the attack has been planned based on the death of LTTE leader Prabhakaran at Velamuli Vaikal at the end of the war of 18th May. It has said that the death of LTTE new leader Ishipriya at the latter half of the war in 2009 is another reason for the attack. Indian sources say that coastal security in Tamil Nadu state and intelligence activities have been enhanced along with the news. Tamil Nadu fishermen have been informed to be on alert about the arrival of unidentified persons. The Hindu newspaper has said that all police superintendents in Tamil Nadu have been briefed to prevent the entry of Sri Lankans to India. It is reported that there is an increase of LTT activities in Tamil Nadu. LTT intelligence activist Satkunam was arrested in Tamil Nadu last year. He has been accused of collecting funds for the LTTE and engaging in drug rackets. A woman was arrested at Chennai airport recently in connection with the incident. Investigations had found that she has a large amount of cash in her Indian bank accounts. The Hindu newspaper has reported that she has been identified as a fundraiser for LTTE.
Issuing a statement in connection with the Hindu News report, the Defence Ministry says that Indian intelligence report on an LTT terrorist attack on the 18th of May has been conveyed as a routine information. The Indian intelligence has informed that they are conducting further investigations and Sri Lanka will be informed if there is more information. The Ministry of Defence in its statement has said that a proper investigation will be conducted on the information received by the intelligence and security units connected to the national security, and all security authorities will be informed.
And meanwhile, a group of representatives of Goldface Green protest Better Position leader Sajith Premadasa yesterday to hand over the set of proposals presented by them. The representatives who handed over the proposals to the opposition leader took part in a discussion. The opposition leader said that the country should be changed according to the demands of the struggle. MP Buddhika Patharana was present on this occasion. The Goldface protest continues to the 37th day today. Large number of people arrived at the place last night. The tents in front of the presidential secretariat have been decorated with Vesak lanterns. A Dhamma sermon was delivered there this morning. CID officials arrived at the place today as well to conduct investigations into the assault at the struggle area. Meanwhile, 2 media briefings have been organized at the struggle area by the Inter-University Students Federation and Young Lawyers Association. A large group of people arrived at the place this afternoon as well. Meanwhile, a protest in front of the temple trees was held for the 3rd day today. The protesters held a Vesak dancel at the place.
Police say that they expect public support to identify suspects connected to the violent incidents at Kolpati and Goldface on the 9th. The relevant photographs were released to media today. The CID is conducting investigations into the violence and unrest at Kolpati and Goldface Green. The public has been requested to inform on the persons in photographs through the telephone numbers 0711 8594 901 or 0711 8594 915 or 071 8592 087 or 071 8594 942 or 071 2320 145 and 011 2422 176. Statements have been recorded from 170 so far in connection with the incident. 230 have been arrested on suspicion in connection with violent incidents from various parties on the island after the incident at Goldface Green. The Kandy Additional Magistrate ordered today to remand 6 suspects taken into custody for damaging and setting fire to the houses of former Minister Geliya Rambukwala until the 17th. SSP Nihat Aldua said that the Attorney General is directly supervising investigations. 707 incidents have been reported and more complaints are being received. 230 have been arrested and 68 have been remanded. The police headquarters instructed again yesterday to all police stations to conduct a maximum number of patrols to protect law and order in all areas. Instructions were given to check vehicles and individuals. Most suspects will be arrested. Another ship carrying a stock of diesel under the Indian credit line arrived at Colombo harbour today.
Accordingly, the Indian Commission in Colombo said that Sri Lanka has been given more than 400,000 metric tons of fuel and brought by 12 ships. Meanwhile, the Electricity Board said that generators under the first phase of the Norachole thermal power plant will be added to the national grid again on the 21st. The activities of the first power plant out of the 3 at Norachole power plant were stopped recently due to a minor fault. It was restored later. A testing is done before adding capacity again to the national grid. The testing has been unsuccessful and the authorities are taking place to rectify the issue. Public Utilities Commission says that power will not be disconnected tomorrow. Lanka Petroleum Private Tankers Owners Association says that fuel was not distributed today in connection with Vesak full moon Poi Day. Secretary of the Lanka Petroleum Private Tank Owners Association, TV Shant Shilva, said that fuel distribution can begin around 7:30 am within Colombo Urban Council limits. Tankers will reach outstations in the afternoon. There is a shortage of diesel but not a problem related to petrol. A ship carrying 42,000 metric tons of diesel has arrived. Diesel and petrol will be issued without a shortage from tomorrow. People stayed in long queues today to purchase fuel today. Our reporter said that there was no fuel at some filling stations. And meanwhile, Secretary to the Ministry of Health, Major General Sanjeeva Munasinghe, says that the country has not received an order for any medicine or equipment after the last month.
The Secretary said that the shortage of medicine and equipment is met by personally speaking to friends in foreign countries. This was disclosed during a meeting at the Prime Minister's office yesterday, headed by Deputy Leader of the UNP and the head of the committee to look into medicine problems, Ruan Vijayawardena. There's a severe shortage of medicine, including medicines needed by heart patients and surgical equipment. There are 646 medicines needed by patients, and it was revealed that 188 medicine are not available at the State Supplies Division. He said that 21 out of 486 medicine that are not essential are not with the Government Medical Supplies Division, and 49 such medicines are not there at the hospitals. The Health Ministry Secretary said that there are 7,854 surgical equipment, and there should be 2,048 equipment used often, but 1,155 of them are not available. It was disclosed that there are 3,900 laboratory items, and there should be 800 normal equipment, and 250 out of that were not available. It was announced that serious problems have arisen to store medicines due to the shortage of diesel and power cuts. Suppliers who provide medicine, surgical equipment and food for patients have not been paid for 4 months. The total amount payable is 34 billion rupees. It was noted that the State Pharmaceutical Corporation has not made payments for imported medicine for 4 months, and it has been blacklisted by foreign pharmaceutical companies. Although the Health Ministry has opened letters of credit to import medicine, it has not been able to import medicine due to the shortage of dollars and the appreciation of the dollar. The medicine for rabies has run out, and the Medical Supplies Division has no substitute for the medicine. The Medical Supplies Division needs 20 million rupees monthly to purchase medicine and equipment. The Secretary said that the supplies network has been disrupted as payments have not been made to the suppliers. Mr. Ruan Vijayawardena said that discussions will be held with the Prime Minister to find dollars needed by the Health Ministry to purchase medicine and equipment. He said that a full report about the health sector problems will be given to the Prime Minister. Medicine importers said that since there's a new Prime Minister, discussions will be held with foreign companies to pay the present debt and to purchase medicine for another 4 months on credit basis. Mr. Vijayawardena said that support will be given to provide diesel for private hospitals on behalf of the patients at their emergency treatment surgical theatres and intensive care units. He said that discussions will be held on providing diesel for generators of storage facilities of private sector medicine importers and for the production facilities of local medicine manufacturers.
And meanwhile, our reporter says that the flood situation in Ratnapura is increasing. They said that 3 places of Ratnapura Panadura Road have been submerged. Travelling on the road has come to a halt. Civilian life has been disrupted. Many houses have submerged and some people in the area have been displaced. Floods in the area have made it difficult to visit the historic Ratnapura Saman Devalaya. The Navy said that they have deployed 10 relief teams at western and southern provinces to provide relief. Several places near Nilwala River and Kiramaoya in the Mathura district submerged. Transport has been disrupted due to minor flood situation at Akuressa Panutugama area. Paddy fields and lowline areas are submerged. Met Department says rains or thunderstorms can occur in western, Sabaragamu and central provinces and the Mathura district. More than 100 millimeters of rain can occur in Kandy and Nurele districts of the Sabaragamu province. Rains of 75 millimeters can occur at certain places of Gol and Mathura districts. Strong winds can blow across western slopes of the Central Hill, North, North Central and Northwestern provinces and in the Hambantota district. See areas of the coast of Kankasanturai to Putlam and Gol where Hambantota can experience wind speed up to 70 kilometers per hour.
Three persons have been arrested by the SDF for sending $47,000 through the Undial system. The SDF said they were arrested in a raid conducted at Burlasgamua. One person has been arrested for laundering $47,000 and another two for aiding and abetting. They are between the ages of 40 and 52 years. The suspects have been handed over to the Kirlapana Illegal Assets Investigation Division for further investigations. The local value of those US dollars is nearly 20 million rupees.
And meanwhile, the Kandurata Janata Peramuna has decided not to support Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. However, party leader MP Radhakrishnan said that their party will give unconditional support to any positive proposals conducted by the government to overcome the economic challenges. Leader of Kandurata Janata Peramuna V. Radhakrishnan said the Central Committee held a discussion today and the discussions was taken. There is no expectation to get ministers in future. He said that they expect to move forward with Tamil Progressive Alliance and Samagi Janabadavege. Support will be given to establish political stability.
සන්ධානත් එක්ක සමගි ජනබලවේගයත් එක්ක තමයි ඉදිරි ගමන යන්න අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. රජයේ ගේන්න හොඳ දේවල් වලට අපි සහායක දෙන්න අපි.
Stay tuned. Foreign news coming up next.
And in your foreign news tonight, Russia's offensive in Ukraine's Donbas region has lost momentum and fallen significantly behind schedule, British military intelligence said. Under the current conditions, Russia is unlikely to dramatically accelerate its rate of advance over the next 30 days, the British military further said. On Friday, Ukrainian forces prevented an attempted Russian river crossing in the Donbas, an eastern area comprising the Luhansk and Donetsk regions that has been a focus of the offensive. A missile strike hit some military infrastructure in the western Ukrainian region of Lviv, the region's governor said. He further said that 4 enemy missiles hit a military infrastructure and it is completely destroyed. Meanwhile, one person was injured with a shrapnel wound after a Ukrainian strike hit the Russian village of Sereda, the Russian officials said. Ukrainian fighters holed up in a steel plant in the ruined southern port of Mariupol faced continued attacks on the city's last stronghold of resistance. Ukrainian officials said that the authorities were negotiating the evacuation of 60 severely wounded troops, but Russia had not agreed to the evacuation of all wounded fighters at the steel works, who number in the hundreds.
And from Ukraine to United States of America, where a shooting was reported. 10 people were killed in a mass shooting yesterday at supermarket in Buffalo, New York. Authorities are calling the incident a racially motivated hate crime, and an 18-year-old suspect has been taken into custody, authorities confirmed. The 18-year-old white suspect has shot dead 10 people in a black neighborhood of New York State. Authorities have claimed that the shooting is a racially motivated attack, and the suspect was arrested after a standoff at the scene. He began firing in the store's car park before entering and continuing his rampage, streaming the attack online. U.S. President Joe Biden condemned what he described as an aberrant act. The attacker had allegedly shouted racial slurs during the shooting and suggested that had a racial slur written on his weapon. The suspect is believed to have driven for some 200 miles to reach the predominantly black area of the city. 13 people were shot in total and the majority of the victims were black.
India has banned wheat exports as a scorching heat wave curtails output and local prices hit an all-time high. Amid strong export demand, the Indian government said that exports will be allowed for issued letters of credit and for the countries trying to meet their food security needs. The ban from the world's second biggest wheat producer could push global wheat prices to new peaks and hit poor consumers in Asia and Africa. Wheat prices in India have risen to record high with $322 per ton compared to Indian government fixed rate $260.
And an update from Somalia. Police in Somalia have announced a 33-hour curfew on the capital Mogadishu that will keep almost all residents at home during today's presidential election by the lawmakers. Incumbent leader Mohammed Abdullahi Mohammed is seeking a second term in this election. A 33-hour curfew in Mogadishu will cover both traffic and people as lawmakers, security personnel and all other officials involved in the vote will still be free to move. The indirect election in which lawmakers will pick a president will take place in an airport hanged behind blast walls to help feed on potential attacks on meddling by factions with the security services.
Prima Kotumi, Bantamai.
And in your sports news tonight, Angelo Matthews scored his 12th Test century today during the first Test against Bangladesh. The match commenced today at Chittagong Sahur Ahmad Chaudhry Stadium.
Sri Lankan captain Dimuth Karunaratne won the toss and decided to bat first. Oshita Fernando and Dimuth Karunaratne opened Sri Lanka innings. When the opening partnership was 23, Dimuth Karunaratne was out for 9 runs. Oshita Fernando scored 36. Kusal Mendis scored his 13th half century today. He was out for as a third Sri Lankan wicket for the 44 runs. Dhananjay De Silva scored 6. Angelo Matthews scored 12th Test century today. Sri Lanka was 258 for 3 wickets in the first innings at stumps today. Angelo Matthews was unbeaten on 114 and Dinesh Chandimal was not out on 34.
Well, his job is only half done, let's not forget. He's also got 700s. And, well, he would be disappointed with that.
Fingers to it. But there was an opportunity. 69 was Angelo Matthews' score.
Shot greets the second new ball with a lovely touch of his legs. It should go to the boundary and also picks up 100. That is a brilliant way to pick up his 100 in Test match cricket. What a lovely shot that was from Angelo Matthews.
Lusty hitting from Angelo Matthews into it.
Pushed away, defended. It brings a close to the first day of this first Test match. Angelo Matthews has played quite beautifully.
And in news from And with that, we conclude tonight's news on Rupavahini. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. I'm Kasuni Balachandra, signing off together with Charita Minipararachi. Good night.
Good night.